I did not expect this, not at all. 3 days, that is all it took. I walked into my garden, looked down, and there they were, worms. Lots of them, moving through the soil like they owned the place. The same soil that looked dry and tired just days before was now alive. It felt soft, dark, and rich. I did not buy anything fancy. I did not use chemicals. I only poured one simple mix into the soil. Today, I will show you exactly what I did, step by step, so you can try it too. Stay with me, because what happens next will change how you see your garden forever, and it is easier than you think. Before I show you the mix, you need to know why worms are so important. Worms are like tiny workers. They dig, they eat, they move, and they turn dead things into rich food for your plants. When worms are in your soil, your plants grow faster, stronger, and healthier. The soil holds water better, roots grow deeper, and even weak plants start to come back to life. No worms means poor soil, and poor soil means poor harvest. So when I saw a worm show up in just 3 days, I knew something powerful was happening. This is not magic, it is nature doing its job, and we are just helping it a little. Many people do not know this, but most soil is tired. It looks fine on top, but inside, it has no life. No worms, no good bugs, no movement. This happens when we use too many chemicals or when we forget to feed the soil. Plants take nutrients, but if we do not give anything back, the soil becomes empty. That is what my garden looked like before. Hard, dry, and silent. Water would just sit on top or run away. Plants struggled to grow. I knew I had to fix the soil first, not just the plants. And that is when I tried this simple mix that changed everything in just a few days. Now here is the secret. And you will be surprised how simple it is. I used water, a little sugar, and a small amount of organic matter like old leaves or compost. That is it. Nothing expensive, nothing hard to find. The sugar feeds tiny microbes in the soil, and those microbes wake up and start working fast. The compost adds food and smell that worms love. When you mix this with water, it spreads deep into the soil and starts a chain reaction. Life wakes up under the ground. You are not just feeding plants. You are feeding the whole soil system. And that is the real trick. Let me show you how I made it. I took a bucket of water. Not too cold, not too hot, just normal. Then I added 1 spoon of sugar and stirred it well until it dissolved. After that, I added a handful of composts and mixed it again. The water turned a little brown, and that is perfect. I let it sit for a few minutes, just to settle. Then I carried the bucket to my garden. No machines, no stress, just a simple mix. Anyone can do this, even if you are new to gardening. The key is to keep it simple and let nature do the heavy work. This is where things start to change. I slowly poured the mix into the soil. Not all at once, just enough to soak the top layer. I focused on areas where plants were weak or where the soil looked dry. As the liquid sank in, I knew it was reaching deep inside. I did not dig. I did not disturb anything. I just let it flow. After that, I left it alone. No watering, no touching, just waiting. This part is important because the soil needs time to react. Sometimes doing less is better than doing too much. On the first day, nothing looked different. The soil looked the same, and I almost thought it did not work. But I stayed patient. On the second day, I noticed something small. The soil felt a bit softer. When I pressed it with my finger, it was not as hard as before. That was a good sign. It meant something was happening below the surface. Tiny life was waking up. Even though I could not see worms yet, I knew they would come. This is the part where most people give up. But trust me, you need to wait just a little longer. Then came day 3. And this is where it got exciting. I went back to check, and I saw them. Worms, moving slowly, coming out of the soil. Not 1 or 2, but many. The soil looked darker, richer, and alive. I gently moved the top layer, and more worms were there, working, turning the soil into something better. I could not believe it. In just 3 days, the garden changed. This showed me that when you feed the soil, life comes back fast. Worms follow food, and now my soil had plenty of it. So what does this mean for your garden? It means you do not need expensive products to fix your soil. You can use simple things at home and get real results. When you bring worms into your soil, you are building a strong base for healthy plants. Your garden becomes easier to manage, and your harvest becomes better. This is not a one-time trick. You can repeat it every few weeks to keep your soil alive. Just remember, feed the soil, not just the plants. When the soil is happy, everything grows better, and your garden will thank you. Now you know my simple method, and you have seen how fast it works. Try it in your own garden and watch what happens. Start small, observe, and learn as you go. Gardening is not about doing big things. It is about doing the right small things again and again. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to Backyard Harvest. It helps the channel grow and lets me bring you more simple and powerful tips like this. Drop a comment below and tell me what you think and what you want to see next. I will see you in the next one, and until then, keep growing.